It's 2023, and if you're like everybody around the world, you probably think that this year you're going to make some changes. It's just tradition at the end of the year to come up with some New Year's resolutions. A lot of us will follow through with them, and a lot of us won't. But nonetheless, we try. And this year I've set a lot of goals for myself that I plan on following through with. But before I move on to change for the better, I would like to leave my mistakes and failures of 2022 in the past. So to do that, I decided I'm going to publish this video that I made many months ago, and it's basically just an initial reaction to a rejection from a role that was really important to me, that I really wanted to get last year. I obviously failed. I didn't get the role. I got rejected, and I didn't end up uploading this initial reaction video for multiple reasons, but I choose to do so now because I want to share my failures with you guys so that I can connect with my audience, and so that if you relate to this, you don't feel bad about maybe if you've been rejected or failed last year, because moving forward, we're going to strive for success. Now, I'm not going to have a sponsor in this video, but I would really appreciate it if you followed me on Instagram or Twitter, whichever one you have. These links will be in the description. Go give me a follow. I'll follow some of you guys back. You know, if I want to do social media, those are important for me to grow. And so right now I'm about to cut to a video, which is my initial reaction to being rejected for a role I really wanted. But stick to the end because there's more to the story. I find out why I got rejected. I get stood up for a call and a bunch of other stuff. So I will explain that at the end as well. When it comes to dealing with failure and rejection, I am not the best. I recently interviewed for a senior developer advocate role at MongoDB, and I was rejected in the final round. And it sucks because I feel like whenever I really want a role, like I really think it's going to be a good fit for me, for example, software engineer at Google, or this now, for one reason or another, even if I'm qualified, I end up getting rejected. This was a 5-step interview process, and over the course of 5 weeks, I passed 4 of those 5 interviews. I was rejected before I even did my 5th interview. And this isn't because I failed the interview process. My recruiter told me they just chose to go with a stronger candidate, so a stronger fit for the role. However, it was tough for me to accept because they told me that I was a really strong candidate throughout the process and that they really wanted to hire me. So I was interviewing to be senior developer advocate of Search, and I didn't really know much about Search, but they were saying that it didn't matter, and they were trying to beef up their social media team. I have a big social media presence when it comes to coding, and they were even talking about maybe catering a specific role just towards my skill set, and they seemed like they really wanted to hire me, and I really wanted to work there. I really like MongoDB. I use it in all my projects. College, I was using it when I was in MLab, which is now Mongo Atlas, and I prefer to use it over something like Postgres when I'm doing like a side project. I like it. Like I can just throw JSON data into it. And it sucks that I got rejected because, yeah, I thought I was gonna get this role and it sounded really cool and like a perfect fit for me. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what a developer advocate is, I would just say, think about the words. If you're advocating for something, then you think it's good. If I'm advocating for you guys to subscribe to my channel, I would say, my channel's great, subscribe. I'm advocating for you to subscribe for my channel. You guys get it. Anyways, so I would be advocating for MongoDB. I would be trying to get developer communities to use MongoDB, tell them why they should use MongoDB. But that's not it. This falls under a category called developer relations, and it differs from job to job. It's a newly popularized role. A lot of people are getting these jobs, especially influencers nowadays, because they have a lot of reach, and there's a lot that goes into being a developer advocate. It's not just about advocating for the company. Stuff like marketing's involved, stuff like developer experience, so maybe working on documentation, tutorials, teaching people how to integrate MongoDB. I was even told that maybe I'd have the opportunity to go up at something like a tech conference and give a presentation. A lot of the time, developer advocates also get to write code, so work on projects, different projects at MongoDB. So it all sounded really cool. It sounded like the perfect job. A little bit of coding, a little bit of developer experience, a little bit of marketing, teaching, tutorials, and communication. All of these things I'm familiar with. So it'd all be coming together in this role, and I just thought it would be a perfect fit for me. So I told all my friends I was interviewing. I was really excited, talking to people about it throughout the process. And of course, you know, the more I feel like the more I want something to happen, the less it happens for some reason. Like whenever I really want a role, I don't get it, but then I get offered other roles that I don't want. I have bad luck maybe. And this isn't a bash MongoDB because I don't really know how they made their decision, right? I have a big social media following. I think I would be a good fit. Maybe the they did want to find someone that was really good with search. So they found somebody that's better. I didn't know that much about search. Maybe there's tech hiring freezes going on. I know there are. And they needed to cut some of the budget. They couldn't make an extra role for me like they were talking about. They maybe were planning on making an extra role, cater to my skill set. But then with the economy and stuff, changes were made. Maybe they found something on social media about me they didn't like. Maybe they don't think I'm a brand fit. There's so many reasons. But I do have a call in a few days to actually go over with them why they chose not to move forward with me. I still think the company is great. And they said maybe in the future we will have more available positions and we could be reaching out to you to hire you, because they really said they like me as a candidate, which I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and believe them. And otherwise they just wouldn't reach out to me to have a call in a few days, I think. So I think that's really nice of them to even reach out and take the time to do a call with me. And I hope that in the future, maybe they do decide to extend an offer. Maybe one day in the future, I will be able to work in this role. So now, after I filmed this video, which I was really bummed about getting rejected, obviously, it gets even worse because I made a LinkedIn post about how I was passing the interviews and I failed, but you should move on from failure. Just, move on, forget about it, and keep going, right? You can't be depressed about things. And the MongoDB recruiter I was working with reached out and said, hey, I'd love to set up a call so that you could figure out why you got rejected. We really liked you as a candidate and we hope to hire you in the future. So this made me pretty happy because I wanted to talk to this guy and figure out, why was I rejected? Was it because I'm a brand risk? Was it because I didn't have the skill set? Or was it because of something else? So the recruiter scheduled the call with this guy, and this guy had previously told me he wanted to hire me, and the guy didn't show up for the call. So I basically just sat in the call. Nobody showed up, and I thought that was kind of messed up. So I get rejected, and then they set up a call to explain, and then they don't show up. So I thought that was kind of crazy. So then the guy apologized and he set up a second call, and I showed up to that one and he was there, and I was like, just tell me the truth. I want to know the truth. Why was I rejected? I brought up the brand risk thing or skill set. And he basically said that somebody got to the end of the interview process before me and they were hired over me. And that kind of bummed me out too, because it's like, why am I going through this 5-stage interview process and preparing a presentation for the last stage and then not even getting a chance to compete against this person? I know the role possibly was going to involve marketing, public speaking, things I'm incredibly good at. I saw someone on Twitter at the same exact time frame get hired as a regular developer advocate with a couple hundred followers on Twitter, which kind of blew my mind. So I didn't understand. It just kind of felt like artificial, the reason that I was rejected. But who knows? Who really knows? I can never say for sure. There have been all these layoffs at huge tech companies, and to be honest, I feel very fortunate that I have a YouTube channel as big as the one I do, and I can monetize on it. And I remember at the end of the conversation, I think they were saying something like, well, if a role opens up or if there's more budget to hire, then we'll call you. You're next in line. They were talking about sponsorships on my channel with MongoDB, like collaborations. The guy said like a week later he was gonna maybe get into negotiations to do sponsorships. Then I reached out to him, and then it's now they have to hire a new influencer person, and all of this stuff was just kind of like, everything in the whole process was rubbing me the wrong way. And you know what? That's what I get. I have bad luck, and that's it. Whatever. And come to think of it, MongoDB, it's your loss. I'm good to go. So that's it. That was like 5 months ago. I really wanted that. It sucked I didn't get it, but I've moved on now. I've totally gotten it out of my mind. But I just figure that a lot of people fail, a lot of people get rejected, and you have to push through, and that's a good message to send to my audience. So I did want to release this video. It's a good way to also get it out of my mind and move past it, considering it's the new year now. If you guys are currently interviewing and you get rejected, you just got to push through, get it out of your mind. There's going to be bigger and better opportunities, and who knows, maybe it's for the best, right? Maybe it's destiny that you got rejected so that you can go on and do better things. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it didn't have too much of a negative tone, or I hope some of you took value from it in a way. No sponsors, so please guys go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, linked in the description. If you're currently interviewing, I also have some affiliates for coding interview stuff. You can check those out too if you want to support. But yeah, like and subscribe. Coming with new videos all the time now, guys. This is going to be my year on YouTube. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.